It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a can of Beavertown Heavy Water, Sour Cherry and Sea Salt Imperial Stout coming in at 9.8% ABV. There's a look at the can. As always, that lovely kind of speckly disco look on the can. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. I'm really excited by this beer. Reason being, as always, let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. Reason being, they used to bottle this probably when Beavertown were a very, very young brewery. And I missed it. Well, I think I missed it. Maybe the review's up on YouTube and I just want to do the can version because it's a great beer. But everybody, I think this was probably the beer that landed Beavertown, as well as Gamma Ray and some of the other lovely beers that they made. This was one of the early beers that made people start to talk about Beavertown in a very serious way. In a serious way, as in this brewery's bloody fantastic. So, my friend who used to review a lot of beer with me, Chris, Real Ale in 140, he had a bottle of this heavy water and he tried it, say, in the first week of March, and he was still talking about it in May. It was one of them beers that was that good. And to be honest, have a look in my uploads. I might have uploaded it back then, but I don't think I have. I'm really positively certain that I haven't. So this is probably the first time of me trying this beer. It's a two-finger tan coloured head. It's more or less a jet black beer in the glass. As the beer suggests, it's heavy water. This beer looks heavy. Look as I rock this liquid back and forth. The small carbonation chasing that lovely thick head that really doesn't want to go away. Up the glass. No light bleeding from the bottom of the glass. Let's get the aroma on this lovely looking Imperial Stout. Yeah. And this has got what I call Scandinavian style Imperial Stout. Great head, great look, fantastic aroma. I know before I even get my lips around this beer that it's going to have a fantastic, thick, creamy, dense body. How do I know? It's called heavy water. And number two, I've seen beers like this on a number of occasions. Let's dive in. Cheers. Oh yeah. That's unbelievable. Stone the Crows. Oh, where do I start? Do I start with mouthfeel, big, thick, creamy, Snickers ice cream type mouthfeel? Or do I move over to the absolutely fantastic sourness and the cherry-like flavours, the sharpness and the sourness that I have never experienced in an Imperial Stout before? Where do I start? Ice cream, Snickers kind of mouthfeel. Sourness. Oh. Let's start with the mouthfeel. We've all been to the supermarket, yeah? We've all picked up a box of 4 ice cream Mars bars or ice cream Snickers. That luxurious, creamy, dense, melt in your mouth glory, yeah? That's the best. If you've not tried an Imperial Stout of this calibre, that's the only way I can describe this beer. And I mean that. It's that luxurious, melt in the mouth, creamy ice cream feel that you only get from an ice cream. Or a big, bold, dark, luxurious, rich Imperial Stout. Like this. Look at the lacing. Look at that lacing on the glass. Wonderful stuff. The sour cherry, and I gotta be fair to it, when you design a beer like this, you're basically whacking in an incredible amount of roasted malt and oats and whatever it is else that you add to a beer like this to make it as thick and as dense as and as creamy as this is. So if you're a home brewer, or if you've got the slightest inkling about brewing and how it's done, you will understand that even an Imperial Stout this thick, the sour cherry and sea salt will have to battle hard. I mean, really, really battle hard to say, hey, look at me over here in this trudgy, thick, dark liquid. I'm the sour cherry, I'm the sea salt. And it does that in abundance. It really does. It stands out. It pulls itself away from that big, thick gloop of the beer that it is. And I think that just reflects the genius of Beavertown. I know some beers are designed, when a brewery gets to a certain size, let's talk about Green King, yeah? I don't mind, they probably don't mind. They probably design beers around a big table with papers and pens, and they go, right, okay, we'll do this, and what's trending, and we'll try and do this half-heartedly, underline half-heartedly, and we'll make a little bit of an effort, yeah? And then you have brewers like Beavertown who actually get on the ground floor of the brewery. I can imagine it now, that the brewers, the singer, the guitar singer, I can imagine him down there on the shop floor working out by hand. I don't know, what ingredients do we have in the brewery today? Working out, how can we make our Imperial Stout, our dark water, which is heavy water, I should say. How can we make that better than the beer that we brewed a few years ago? So they thought, you know, let's try some cherries, let's chuck some salt in there. And they probably got a little homebrew kit in the corner that they're messing about with, and then they'll upscale that into the main brewery. And to be honest, that's the way to do it. That's the only way to do it. If you hit the stage of paper and pen in a boardroom, maybe, and I'm controversial, I don't care if I'm controversial. You know, it's why people follow me. Maybe me being controversial, maybe Brewdog have hit that scale now where they design beers in the boardroom. I mean, the last few beers that they produced, it certainly seems that way. But that's not a dig at Brewdog. That's not a dig at Brewdog. It wasn't a dig at Green King. It was just honesty, yeah? Honesty. Let's rate this absolutely fantastic Imperial Stout from Beavertown. Vanilla, chocolate, coffee, caramel. Incredible mouthfeel. Great carbonation. Sour cherry. And there's a certain saltiness on the back end. This beer is just special. It's a beer that you will probably never forget. It's one of them beers that will stick in your mind for a very, very long time. And for me, that's what great beer is all about. That's Beavertown Heavy Water. 9.8% ABV Imperial Stout with sour cherry and sea salt. There's a look at the can. Without doubt. Look at it. Just look at it. Without doubt, this beer gets a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 from Real Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! And cheers.